Chris Show. The other thing I see on cars, and we were talking about how people with brand new cars, newer cars, don't love that big screen, the interface to change out your music or your temperature in the car or whatever. In fact, it was like more than half said, just give me knobs. Give me something else. I don't like this touchscreen display. Now, what I do, I've got my window down a lot now, a little low on Freon.
What's that?
Yeah, I don't have air conditioning right now. Okay.
Wait a minute. I thought.
Yeah. No, don't.
I thought that was the other car.
It is getting a little warmer now too.
It's getting a little warmer. No, it's this one. This one. I mean, when I go see Daryl, I'm sure he'll throw in some Freon. But as of now, I haven't seen him.
Off book, right?
Well, I don't know where he gets it. I don't know where.
I think that's controlled. I think they have to put that on book.
I meet him in the middle of a field somewhere. He's like, I got a little Freon.
I got what you need.
Yeah, and he gives me a little. Point is, I don't have it now, so I try to do two things. First, I leave the window down, and when I hear
when you're not in it,
when I'm in it.
Oh.
When I'm driving down the road on the way home, and I will lean my head out the window to try and stare at somebody's big screen who's beside me at a stoplight to see what radio station they've tuned in.
Nothing strange about that.
No, it doesn't look crazy at all.
I always do that. I want to see especially if I hear music coming from it, I'm like, what are they listening to? But you can't see. It's hard to see.
Very hard to see.
It's almost impossible.
What are you looking at?
And this is a side note. I don't know if there's more to this story or not, but I was, there's a middle school not far from our home.
Yeah.
And I was walking past the carpool line yesterday, and there were a couple guys waiting to pick up their son or daughter, who knows what.
Yeah.
And they had their music thumping. Windows were up. Music was thumping.
Yeah.
But they were cheap ass speakers.
Oh, you didn't sound good.
No, you could hear the vibrations. The car parts were rattling.
Doesn't sound.
Get a better system.
Yeah. Aftermarket.
If you're gonna. No, I think this was.
I mean, you
I
should
think
get
this
an
is factory. Yeah, go aftermarket.
Yeah, you should. If you're gonna have music,
if you're gonna do it,
just do it right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned middle school. I was behind a middle school, I'd say middle school age school bus the other day. And I was proud to say that this tradition is not dying.
Mm.
I could see the kids in the window playing in the back. And I looked up at them, and of course they were staring back at me, laughing. So that's what you do when you're that age, plus I'm fat. When you see a fat person in middle school, you're like, oh my God, he's huge. Look. And then Chris Demm just did this.
Try it around me. Huh? See if they can do it around me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, adults do it too, but they're more, middle schoolers will straight jaw open.
Yeah.
But Chris Demm just did it. As the bus started to pull off, one of them starts to wave and then turns it into the middle finger. And I laughed, and I think it surprised them that I was laughing because they were laughing too. But I was happy to see that tradition has not died.
Kate Hudson does it in Almost Famous when the tour bus goes past the girls jogging on the road,
and they were like, "Hey," and they give the finger back, after waving. I don't like it, and maybe you missed my rant yesterday on the student section of student athletes at basketball games giving the finger to student athletes.
Oh, I was here for that.
Well, I doubled down. I did it again.
Oh, you did it again?
You said it was course.
I doubled. I said it was coarse.
Oh, Lord.
And it was one of my better takes in a long, long time. These student athletes, they need to stop jaw-jacking with the fans, and the fans need to stop giving the finger back. I'm sorry. We just can't have it.
Full Britney Spears course on them.
It was 100% coarse. Here's the other thing I noticed when my head's out the window, all right? First of all, it smells like marijuana everywhere, okay?
Everywhere.
All right, there's that.
Occasionally in the carpool line.
Okay.
I'm not going to say every day. Not every day.
Waiting to take the edge off a little bit sometimes.
Yes.
But the other thing is, I can't tell you how many cars, now that I got my window down, that are newer than mine, we get to the stoplight, and I believe we've talked about this, the car itself turns off.
Oh, yeah.
And then restarts.
Auto shut off.
When you hit the gas, I guess it restarts, and it really throws me. It's all of a sudden it'll go and start back up and go. And I guess that's to save gas, right? That's what that's for.
It's more, I think, to eliminate emissions while you're idling. Emissions while you're idling.
Does everybody use it, or with new cars? Do they like it, or can you shut it off and not do it like that?
I think most cars allow you to override it.
Yeah, I figured. I would think.
And I think a lot. I don't know how most drivers feel about it.
I've never ridden in a car that
the engine starts the instant you release any pressure on the brake pedal. It refires.
I see. So when you're
that's the thinking.
So you sit at a stoplight and your foot's on the brake,
all the way down,
and the car is off, And then
Correct.
as soon as
the
you
engine shuts off.
release the brake, it comes back on. So, but what if you're just crawling up like 3 or 4 feet? You know how sometimes you're in a traffic jam. That'd be tough.
I think as long as you're not going all the way full pressure on the brake, the engine still runs.
Oh, I see. Okay. So, but if I've got full pressure and then let off and scoot up 10 feet and put it again and let off.
Yeah, you
and
may
scoot
want to
up.
override at that point if you're stop and go.
I've never been in a car that does it, but I think I would be thrown by it if I were driving.
You would definitely be thrown by it.
I couldn't even believe it. I heard about it. I've heard these stories. But then when I'm next to it with my window down, I mean, you hear it start, every single time. I was riding next to a truck probably 4 or 5 miles up and down a main drag here, just stared at him. Like, couldn't believe it.
Like a modern pickup.
Yeah, very new, either Chevy or Ford pickup truck. Eric, you're talking about middle school kids on a bus. Let them try to give the finger to Biggie because he's big around me, and you'll see what happens. Go ahead, Eric.
Okay, so I used to be a teacher assistant at a junior high. This tells you how long ago that was.
Right.
And I had to do bus duty because I was a teacher assistant. I had to do bus duty for this one bus driver that always showed up late in the afternoon. So you go sit on the bus to make sure the kids aren't killing each other. And this was the last day of school, and I've been shaved bald for as long as I can remember. And some of the kids in my class, they signed my head. It's the last day of school. I was like, yeah, I don't care. That's fine.
Yeah.
So they signed my head.
Cool.
This one kid is still a legend to this day for what he pulled off and kept a straight face. He asked me when I was sitting on the bus doing bus duty, he asked me if he could sign my head. So I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. So he takes a Sharpie out, and he signs the back of my head, never cracks a smile. The bus driver shows up. I leave, go back in the school building. One of the teachers pulled me to the side in the hallway and was like, what is on your head? And I was like, some kid signed my head. He was like, no, somebody wrote F-U on the back of your head.
Oh. Oh.
This kid kept a straight face, and he is still telling that story to this day.
Oh.
That kid's a legend.
Legend.
I'm angry.
It is coarse.
I'm mad about it. That's coarse. This is a middle schooler. I am angry about this. That's coarse language, and I don't care.
I wonder
for it.
when he began to plan it and keeping the straight face during.
That's the part, yeah.
At age 12 or 13.
So many pranks are ruined by laughing.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that, especially at that age, I mean, to keep a straight face, well done.
Great story, Eric, but I'm bad. I'm upset for you, and I'm upset for my best friend.
How long does it take to wash
well, that's a good question.
profanity off your head and your skin in Sharpie?
Long? Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
You got to go scrub.
You got to really scrub.
Yeah.
I would have made it into something else, like rock. Like, go rock yourself.
Rock off?
Rock off.
Rock you.
Yeah, rocks off.
Rock off.
Rock off.
Or just grab your hats or you do-rag.
Put your head on.
Like Brett Michaels.
So a teacher had to tell him, Eric.
Hey, bro, you got something on your head.
But
yeah,
see,
man, this kid's got you.
So the answer to that would be, yeah, they all signed it. And she had to say, no,
they didn't.
You don't understand. Rick, you're talking about the automatic shutoff on these vehicles. Scares me. I think it's work of the demon. Lets the demon in. Go ahead. Go ahead, Rick.
Hey, guys. I'm P1 Plus. I listened to you when you were on the radio at night. But I have a Subaru, and it's got that irritating shutoff, and it rocks the car every time you let your foot off the gas and the car recranks because of the kind of engine it has. It's got an automatic shutoff. It's got a shutoff, but you have to press it every time you get in the car and go to a trip. You just can't shut it off permanently.
Man,
oh,
I tell you.
So if you forget sometime your light shuts off.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's got to be annoying. I think most people would find that annoying. Do you?
I find it extremely annoying, and it has a little calculator on the dashboard that tells you how much gas you're saving, and the most I've ever saved on a tank of gas is like 1/10 of a gallon.
Right. So it didn't even work in that way.
What model year is your car?
It's a 2020, but they all have it now.
Okay.
Yeah, I see them.
I think I remember there was maybe some of the bigger cities did it with their taxis. Because the taxis are always on the road and always running.
Right. That makes sense, I guess. Thank you, Rick. Appreciate you being such a long-time listener.
God.
We really appreciate it. At night, he's talking about when we practiced.
December of 98.
We had to practice for a while.
And they still let you do this?
Did not help.
Didn't help. The first day
Did
was
not
bad.
help.
The first day, I still took the nerve dump. The first day was not good.